Hello there YouTube, Kenny here, also known as SoundFan85. A little bit of a serious mode for you this time. I've been doing these serious mode videos for a bit now, and people seem to be enjoying them. It gives a little bit of a glimpse into real life aside from the whole gaming thing. What I want to bring up this video is something that pretty much everybody in the world struggles with, whether it's in your childhood, teenage years, your middle years, your upper years. Everybody goes through it. And everybody takes it a different way, and it can cause a lot of stress, a lot of stuff that you just don't want to go through. But it's unfortunately, at some moments, a necessary part of life because it reminds us that while at the time we're hurting now, there's still a future ahead of us. There's still people out there that we can connect with, that we can befriend, that we can potentially, for the most part, getting messages, spend the rest of our lives with. And it's not easy. It's never easy. Even the greatest relationships have their dark spots where you're gonna, things can be questioned. Things can come into question, and it's gonna happen. But anyway, this friend of mine, it's a serious heartbreak for her. And I'm not going to name any names or anything like that, but because, I try not to bring names into this as much as I can help it. But a lot of people are going to go through it. I know she's not the only one. And for everybody out there that does go through heartbreak, it sucks. It really does suck. But sometimes it can be a really good thing. Because if you're in a really bad relationship, or if you're in a really bad friendship, or, a relationship with parents or friends or whoever, brother or sister, and it's bad for you, and you might not even see it, but the people around you can see it. And if they tell you, if they make comments on it, it's really hard to see it for ourselves when we're in love. When we look at the person we love and we have those goggles on, we don't want to see it most of the time. But sometimes the people outside are there to help and there to give you a little enlightenment on what they see that might be going wrong. Now, inevitably, it's up to us. You can keep going on and going through a relationship that could sap you, or you can break it off. Now, that wasn't this case. That's just one example. But this case, it's really hard to explain without going into the details, but sometimes love just fades away, and some people abruptly throw it away. A lot of people go through stuff. They try to figure out who they are throughout the process of the relationship. People change. There's a lot of factors that can come into a relationship causing heartbreak. But I think the strongest thing that needs to be learned from the relationship is who you are and how you come out of it. Because you can either let it hold you down, or you can let it build you up to be stronger. Now, there's obviously always going to be a time to when you're going to need to heal. You're going to need to process. You're going to need... you're just going to need time. And most of the time will heal all wounds. Sometimes wounds won't ever heal. Sometimes they'll just be filled in with something else, and that's about the best we can do. But overall, the human spirit, our spirit, can take a beating and keep on going. We've been on Earth for thousands of years. And not for naught. We've survived. We've carried on. Emotion throughout the timeline of our lifetime, the human species, emotion is kind of a new thing when you think about it. I mean, back when we were Neanderthals, we probably had a little bit of emotion, but all we were trying to do is just survive, and flourish. And nowadays, we don't really have to do that. We have comforts of life. We're able to just walk around without a care, most of us. And finding love is the greatest discovery that we can ever find for some of us. And when that love turns into heartbreak, that's when stuff really starts to get dark. And Sometimes you want to give up. Sometimes you just want to throw it all away and say, I'm done with it. I can't do it anymore. But the thing about being human, for most of us, some people, they don't need it, but others of us, we need love. We need somebody in our lives that can touch our heart, that can provide a caress that relieves the stress of the day, that we can kiss, that we can cuddle up to at night. But it's got to be that special someone. It can't just be anybody. And so when you lose that, and you've had that for a number of years, it sucks. It's like taking away your oxygen. Especially if you're deeply, deeply in love with somebody. But again, you bounce back eventually. You have to. You got to keep going on, and you can't give up on love. Because while love in general is the strongest thing in the world, there's many different types of love, and it's going to vary from person to person. I personally believe that there can be one or two people in your life that you'll connect with on such an extreme level of love that it's true love. Almost perfect love. I mean, you're going to go through different degrees of relationships. You're going to date people. You're going to have friends with benefits. You're going to do all this and that if you're that kind of person. Personally, I've been through most of it. And each has its consequences and each has its plus sides. But it's that true love, that true connection with somebody that really makes you want to hold on. But it's not just one person. It's two people in a relationship. And when your partner throws in the towel, most of the time it's not easy for them. Other times, some just don't care. They change through the relationship. They grow sour. It just, to put it in a better way, it just gets shitty for them. Even though you probably didn't do anything to contribute to it. It happens, unfortunately. But with all that said, again, it's not easy being human. It's not easy having emotion. It's not easy having a big heart if you're like I am. Especially if you're the type of person that you give your all to somebody. And for people like that, if they don't get what they need back, it's hard on them. It's really hard. Because you give a whole lot expecting to get a whole lot, and people just sometimes don't match up in that way. And that's not to say that anybody like that is of a lesser human being for doing that. It's just the way they are. And but again, it takes two to tango. And if your tango partner can't keep up with your pace, or so on and so forth. I could go in all kinds of analogies here. It's hard, and that's where the breakdown comes. Slowly but surely. But again, you can either work through it, or you can just throw in the towel from either side. And sometimes that happens. But if that does happen, just remember, you're human. You're a beautiful, awesome human being. And you should never let the world convince you otherwise. Never let yourself convince you otherwise. If somebody gives up on you, if somebody walks out of your life, just remember that you had moments with them that, if you hold strong to them, can still be good times. And the times that went sour, it's not easy, but black them out, mark them out with a marker. Make new memories. Now, unfortunately, with people like me, again, like I said, it's easier said than done, because that always stays with us. We take everything into our heart, and at times it can weigh us down a whole lot. Again, it just depends on your personality. You can just let it roll off your shoulders and not really care. Some people are like that. Me, and again, a whole bunch of other people, we carry it. It's just an unfortunate part of our nature. But we also carry a lot and we give a lot. So it's a plus. But anyway, just remember to hold strong. Hang in there. Everybody's going to go through it. And if you're going through it, just know that there's always friends out there that can help. There are strangers that have a big heart. that can help. And if you're finding solace in this video, then my job is done. So thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment. And remember, again, you're an awesome person. Never let the world tell you otherwise. Sorry for rambling, but sometimes I do that to get my point out. Again, another part of my nature. I'm not exactly the most poignant person when it comes to presenting topics, but I still love doing it. So for now, I'll say salute. See ya.